And welcome to another edition of Behind the Uniform, a special edition. You know, I don't know that we'll ever have another three-time guest, but fitting that is probably the guy on the team that I've known the longest, going back to his middle school years where he was working out with high schoolers. His dad had him working out with high schoolers as a middle schooler, college guys as a high schooler, and hell, pro guys now. So we know Will Johnson forever, but at the same time, we thought we talked to him so long, let's do something a little different. So let's bring his big sister on with him as well. So Kayli Johnson joins us here on Behind the Uniform. So we'll introduce them both here momentarily after we tell you a little bit about the platform. Behind the Uniform, as you know, season 2, is something that we came up with to take you inside and in-depth the lives of student athletes away from the field or court of play. So you can see what they do and what they're about away from the sports that they play, who they are and what they're about. And not only that, in the age of NIL, we also want to uplift a bit, give back a bit. They give so much to us. What can we do to help them out? And in the words of my guy Giovanni Ohadi, he said, you know, we aren't very smart with our money, some of us. I said, okay, well, Gio, we're going to do something to try to help that out. So our friends at UMCU and Morgan Stanley, they're doing a lot to help us lay the financial literacy foundation to help uplift these student athletes in ways not only where they can help themselves, but help others. And then, of course, our presenting sponsor, Golden Limo, helping make this platform so possible by not only sponsoring the platform, but also by getting you to your location, your destination, on time, every time, with great opportunities like this one we have to tell you about right now. If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Their fleet of charter buses, executive sprinters, mid-size vans, party buses, luxury SUVs, and even a trolley, their service and attention to every detail is second to none, and their track record for safety is beyond reproach. Whether you're traveling in Southeast Michigan, throughout the United States, or even abroad, Golden Limo has you covered. And now when you make a reservation with Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket, you'll be supporting Michigan NIL and a great military charity. Golden Limo founder and CEO Sean Duvall has been a great supporter of Michigan NIL, first through his NIL partnership with Will Johnson and his toy drive, and then through Will's Golden Limo NIL ambassadorship. And now in 2024, Sean and Golden Limo are back with an NIL partnership with Zeke Berry. Sean Duvall also comes from a military family and is a passionate supporter of military charities. One of those charities is Freedom River. Freedom River is a comprehensive outdoor recreation center located in Brighton, Michigan that assists in reassimilation of U.S. military service members, veterans, and their families. A portion of your reservation fee will go there, and that's not all. There's one more perk. Once a month, one Golden Ticket reservation will be selected to attend an exclusive party after the season. That party will include Zeke Berry, Samaj Morgan, maybe some other guests. I know it will include the film study crew, Al Borges, Vance Bedford, doing an exclusive film study breakdown in front of the audience that is at that party. It'll have the Dropping Dimes crew with Devin Gardner, Daniel Horton. Maybe it'll include you, but only if you book through Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket once per month. A Golden Ticket reservation will be selected to go to that party with 3 guests, but only if you book your reservation through Golden Limo using the Golden Ticket. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/Golden Ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today. So now let's welcome in our special guest. Starting off first, man who needs no introduction, William. William. I feel like with Kayli here, I got to call you William. So William, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing all right, man. Fresh cut. I mean,
fresh
is this what's up? What's going on?
It's really just a fresh start for camp. That's
okay.
it. Yeah, I wanted a little fresh start going into camp. Change it up. That's about it.
So no image change. I didn't know if this was a whole, Charles Woodson thing, because I remember, I don't know if you know this, when I came to school at Michigan in '95, when Charles showed up, he had cornrows. I mean, he looked like O-Dog from Minister Society. Real talk. He looked like O-Dog. And next thing you know, Charles showed up. I want to say the next year, looking like you, clean cut and everything. I was like, what happened to Charles? Turned over a new leaf. What's going on, right? So,
yeah. No, I didn't know that, but
yeah,
it's cool to know now.
Yeah, man. All right. And then, of course, next to you, big sis, Kayli. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing outstanding.
Thanks for having me.
I think congratulations are in order. I know you've been on the job here at the University of Michigan for a while now, but congratulations on your job here at Michigan.
Thank you. Thank you.
So for people who aren't aware of what it is you do here, can you talk about your title and what your role is with the football program?
Yeah, I'm the director of on-campus recruiting. So that really is all things visits for high school students. When they come on campus unofficially or officially, it kind of flows through me in some capacity, booking flights for officials, transportation, meals, the whole 9 for June, and then unofficial visits throughout the whole year. You know, recruiting never stops. So getting those schedules together and making the plan, the overarching plan, and communicating pretty much with the whole building. So I have people under me now. We expanded a little bit more, but so I have some help. But yeah, on-campus recruiting.
So how cool is it? How cool is it? You know, you go to practice or you go to work and you see your kinfolk.
Yeah, I mean,
If he stops by. Yeah.
I was running my conditioning test. I look up and she over there watching me. So
Coach Moore had the whole staff out there at 6 a.m. It's like.
Yeah, no, that's cool though. I mean, that's probably the most I've seen her in a while, just because she's been gone doing her other jobs and been at school. So having her back, I see her almost every day now.
So let's rewind the tape, because I thought, Will, growing up, that you were aspiring to be the athlete that Deon Johnson was. Mm-hmm. Little did I know you were aspiring to be the athlete that Kayli Johnson was. That, at least that's what I hear.
Yeah.
Is that right? Because the story I hear is that it was actually Kayli who was the best athlete in the Johnson household. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, she was the best in the household all the way until about high school. Then I think I got her.
Now some people tell me that's still a debate.
She still got it though. She still got it in there. We just did some pull-ups the other day. She did about 10 of them things, and she ain't worked out in a minute. But
yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's an athlete for sure.
So I mean, can you give us your credentials? Can you talk about your it's volleyball, it's track, and it's not just the field events. It's also shot put. Shot put was your main event, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my best event. So
I'm sure you give them all too, starting in high school.
So volleyball is my first love. It was the first sport I fell in love with. I did the whole 9 of like traveling to, the travel to Indiana, Ohio, like all the travel ball. So my mom and I and Will, we used to be on the road in high school, but the opportunity just didn't really come where I wanted to see myself in college. So then kind of at the same time, I started some private lessons with shot put, and it just kind of being what stuck. Like I started to get offers, and in my junior year of high school, after I really started those first 3 to 6 months of private lessons, I ended up going to indoor meet with our track team and threw and set the indoor state record. And then we were all just like, what did I just do? And so then school started to reach out for shot put, which I never saw myself doing something like that in college, like being a part of track and field, let alone throwing. So took all the visits and everything like that, and Michigan State is where it ended up being the best fit for me, and just kind of the stars aligned there. So great decision for me. I know we got Michigan fans on here, but Iowa State, it just ended up being what was best for me at the time. So I did that, and then in COVID, I was able to grad transfer with the eligibility for me redshirting my freshman year and then having the COVID eligibility. And I was just kind of like doing visits online, like all Zoom. It was very interesting trying to find out what next school I was going to go to through Zoom. So Texas Tech ended up having the best presentation, the best package for me. So then I was just like, sight unseen, let's just do it. Like drive to the middle of Texas, in the middle of nowhere, Lubbock, Texas. And then we did it, and then that really ended up being the best thing for me for my athletic career. Was able to become a first-team All-American in shot put, and Big 12 champion, and I'm the school record holder for Texas Tech shot put. So it all happened within like a year and a half. It's still kind of like crazy to think about like how in short of a time I was able to make such a far leap in my athletic career in college. So I I still text with my coach from there. He's an old West Texas guy, but he just really loves throwing and really cares about his athletes. So I'm glad I made the move.
Yeah, so All-American, I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, that just happened for you.
Yeah.
I'm just
It really was like me then him. So it really was.
Yeah.
It was a really short time in between.
Yeah, but like you said, I mean, she was the one that kind of set the standard for me as far as being an athlete and showed me like what hard work was and being committed and what all that could do. So she definitely led the way.
So now I remember the stories. I shouldn't say I remember the stories. I actually saw you out there working out with Deon. Now, did he ever? I'm curious. Did you ever get out there and work out with your dad at all?
Yeah.
Now, before you say, I know of one workout. Now, do you know of any others? But I can think of one workout in the sand. So talk about any workout other than the sand workout.
Okay, there was one time at Grosse Pointe South in COVID, and my dad was like, "Yep, meet us at the field." And we did all these plyos and all this stuff, and I was done.
Oh, this is a sand workout?
No, this is at Grosse Pointe South.
Okay.
At the
Just
field.
on the turf.
On the turf.
On the turf.
Yeah.
And you were done that day?
He had us running down the field and lunges and squats.
Because he said you tried to work out with them in the sand and you couldn't handle that day either.
Yeah, I don't think I did either that day either.
That's when I knew I had it right there.
I'm trying to think. Growing up, though, nothing really specialized with my dad. I did all the private lessons and for my sport specifically, so I used to go to different coaches.
So I'm curious, his big sister, was there a time where you could really see, wow, I mean, he's not little William, like he's really good. There had to be a moment where you could kind of see this is different.
It started in high school, like the glimpses of him playing multiple positions and stuff at Grosse Pointe South. I was like, okay, you wouldn't be doing that if you weren't, the man on the field, really. Kicking or returning the punts and the kicks and stuff, and playing quarterback for a little bit, right?
So I was like, quarterback.
Yeah. So that was really the first times. But really for me, it was like college to see him transition into like a little man. Pretty much. A little man. Now he's like a big man. So, yeah. I mean, within the first year, I would say when he got to Michigan, I think what part of it was him finding like a true family community within the team. Because sometimes when you get to college, it is sort of awkward in the transition. You're trying to figure it out. But when you have a place where you feel like you're really comfortable with the people that you're around, you can be yourself, and then the transition is easier and like you can become yourself a little bit better and more. So I think after his freshman year, getting to see his bond with the other players and them coming to our house and stuff like that, I was able to see like, okay, these boys are together and like they're growing and they're feeding off each other and how they're growing into their manhood. So it was fun to see.
Yeah, I think it was evident to me before. It was your habits. I was talking to CBS today. You had grown man habits in high school. That's the difference. A lot of talented dudes, a lot of talented athletes, but a lot of talented athletes don't have the grown man habits that he has, that we see right now. So let's talk about Big Sis, man. I mean, you see her coming up in this. Your trajectory in this field has been rapid from intern with the Lions, and so then from there, I mean, it's been like Rutgers, Michigan State, Michigan, right?
Yeah.
like quick. And so now, before we talk about your job now, I do wonder, long term, what are your long term aspirations? Do you want to be in athletic administration? Do you want to stay in football? Like, where do you see your career goals, your career path going?
Yeah, I think when I first was graduating high school and college and trying to figure it out, I had always kind of had the goal of being in athletic administration. So figuring out what I was going to major in, what I was going to get my master's in, I was like, well, I want to be around sports in some capacity. And the most stable without like coaching, being a part of a coaching staff is usually the admin part of a university, so in athletics. So then, you know, I kind of was able to figure out what I liked about my different courses in grad school and what pieces I could take and what careers really were in athletics, because there was a lot that I didn't know. So I guess, I don't know, I think football especially, and then athletics is ever evolving. So sometimes I'm like, I don't know necessarily what the answer is in terms of a long-term goal, because there could be a position that we never thought right now could be created in 5 to 10 years. So within sports, football is great. I've always been around it. I'm comfortable with it. So if I was able to create a career around that, that'd be my number one goal. And
you get down in this role. So, all right. So, Will, I mean, give me your breakdown of Big Sis. Not first as an athlete. So talk about her as that, because you did that a little bit, but in this role as a recruiting coordinator, as an basically an athletic administrator on the football side of things. How you see her doing her thing?
I would say she's just a really hard worker. I mean, she's always the last person in the building. Even the coaches have been saying it to me, like, she's been a lifesaver since she's got here. She's done a lot of great things. So she's just a hard worker. She gets the job done. She does the things that people don't really want to do. She shows up. She's been handling her job well. I mean, the recruiting has been picking up ever since she's got there. So, yeah, she's been staying the course. She's been trusting the process, and Coach Moore blessed her with the opportunity to come work with us, and she's been killing it ever since she got there. So she's been doing great.
What I'm reminded of is sort of during the recruiting process, and you can kind of go back. I mean, recruiting is a relationship game, man, and so, you know, to have people in the recruiting department who not only can cultivate relationships, but come in with those relationships in hand already, and that's the other thing, because you guys are SMSB all day, right? Like, you got a network coming in the door, not just Southeast Michigan, but across the country.
Right.
That's currency. That's recruiting currency right there. That's the other piece that kind of jumps out at me.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you said, I mean, she's coming in, but she's got all the connections coming in with her. So, I mean, that's something we needed to help because we got a lot of new coaches right now and a lot of turnover. So having her come in and have those connections and have that Michigan, you know what I'm saying, being established in Michigan and having all the connections in Michigan is good for us just to get that. You know, we want to get Michigan guys in here, so having her is huge.
Yeah, so I said SMSB, and I shouldn't just be throwing out acronyms like that. Sound mind, sound body. And so I know Will's experience with SMSB. But what about yours, Kayli? I mean, I saw him at all the camps all the time, always competing. What are your memories of SMSB and your involvement with SMSB over the years as it was coming up?
Yeah, Curtis Blackwell, he's like an uncle to us, so he always gave me the opportunity to be around. So my biggest memory is those big satellite camps back in the day. We had them at like Wayne State, Dakota High School, and all of those. So I would help out with passing out T-shirts and reconciling money and collecting money and just kind of helping set things up and break things down. So I've always kind of been like in the operations role with Sound Mind Sound Body and those big camps and involvement. And then there was one summer I actually interned. I was trying to find something to do, and Kurt said I can intern, and we did a lot of administrative duties in the office, and yeah, just being around and creating relationships and just being a face for people. It's just kind of family. It's just always been family, so it's just been like, okay, well, going up to practice Sound Mind Sound Body with my dad and brother, and more than likely when I get there, Kurt's gonna have me sit down at the table for check-in and get the money and cross off who's here and who's not. So.
Well, it was like when you got the job, it was like a celebration. Like, everyone's like, okay, yeah. It was the SMSB family. It was like everybody was hyped.
Yeah.
It was clear that if there were any reservations about Michigan, you know, changing of the guard, Sherrone got the job. It was like, okay, Ron, you cool. It's like, you good. Anybody had any questions about Ron, he's all right now because he hired Kayli. At least that's what it felt like. I don't know if you felt like that.
No, I felt that too, for sure. Yeah, from all the people in the city, definitely.
Yeah, it definitely came across that way. So I got a lot more that I want to get into about you guys' relationship, because we got to get into the ESPYs. I want to know who has the most style, because both of y'all were looking real good out there. But I want to know who kind of came up with how y'all looked out there. Was it something that you curated yourself, or was it curated for you? We'll get to that shortly. But right now, I want to get into the piece of this that we've been talking about with all the student athletes that come on the platform, and that is the Financial Literacy Bootcamp. So this is the portion of the show where we talk about, it's kind of like, you know how we talk about responsibility football, where you handle the things that you have to handle so you can do the things you want to do. That's kind of how we do this part when we talk about financial wellness and education. Our friends at University of Michigan Credit Union, we look upon them to help lay the foundation with student athletes of learning about saving and budgeting and taxes. And so they had some exercises that they put the student athletes through with what they call their playbook for prosperity. So Will, you made it over to UMCU. I know you have a great relationship with the folks over at UMCU. You're doing a lot of great work over there, and you have been for a couple of years now. But they recently had you, some of your teammates over there.
If it's okay, I just wanted just to do a little bit of an icebreaker related to today's topic. I'm just going to give you 2 words, and I just want you to tell me what resonates with you more. Where do you kind of go? Saver or spender?
I would say I'm a saver.
Okay.
But I like to spend too.
Okay, well, I'm hearing 2 things. So where are we going to land on this one? Right?
Kind of like right in the middle.
Okay.
I think I'm right in the middle.
Yeah. Spontaneous or planner when it comes to your finances? Have you ever heard this acronym FOMO? FOMO.
What is it?
Yeah. Anyone ever heard that?
Fear of missing out.
Well,
Fear of missing out.
yeah, a little bit, and it kind of plays into being spontaneous, right? Yeah.
See, but what about YOLO though?
Anyone ever heard of that one?
Yeah.
I hear that. Yeah, you only live once. You're right. We're humans, right? Money is not always black and white. Emotions and values. So, how about you? Well, for this one,
I would say I plan out my spontaneous purchases.
Oh, all right.
What does that even mean?
Like if I was like going on a trip or something, knowing I was going to spend some money, then when I get there, I might be spontaneous in the way I spend it.
And this one will probably be a little easier for you guys. And I'll start over here with you, Z. Worrier or confident? Where would you tend to financially right now? Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree with Zeke.
Yeah.
Confident, but
Yeah.
want to stay confident for sure.
Not to put you on the spot. If I just said, hey, listen, how do you get through the month financially? Do you have a notebook, a spreadsheet? Do you just kind of wing it? How do you get through the month to make sure that you're staying financially well? How about you, Will? Do you have a plan that helps you get through?
Yeah, I have a few different accounts that I have my money in. I got my business account with my LLC. I put most of my money that I make in there. Then I got my personal account that I kind of spend my daily money on. Then I got a few different things like a Roth IRA and things like that I got money invested in. So. I think the last time we went there, the biggest thing we learned about was credit, and just basically you gotta pay those bills. That was really the biggest thing we talked about. Just learning how to build credit in college, build it early. It's important for you because when you get to out of college and in the real world, you want to be able to buy the things you want and have that flexibility with a nice credit score. So starting now is big for you.
All right, so when they modeled the credit scores, where did they put you? Because I think they put Mason to like a 600. I was like, man, dang, Mason.
Yeah, I had the high one. It was like 7.
Of course they gave you the high one.
It was like 720 or 760, something like that. Yeah.
Let's do an example.
Okay.
I think this helps because credit scores are almost like your financial GPA, that kind of thing. 0 to 4.0, the higher the better, right? You got something for sale, right?
I sure do. I have a 2024 Ford Bronco for sale.
Okay.
It's $45,000. Mm-hmm. Who's got it?
Whew. Okay, so we got a couple people that are interested in it.
Okay.
So, Will, I got to sell this car. What's your credit score?
730.
Okay.
With a 730, that's going to put him in the top tier. I'm going to give you my best rate today at 6.5%. 780 for a monthly payment, and about $6,000 in interest over the life of this loan. Does that seem fair? There we go.
Yeah, they gave you the high one, so you ain't had the low payment on the low car payment.
So I was able to get the car for sure.
Yeah, you were able to get the car, of course. Of course, they were able to do that for you. But again, it's one of those things that some of your teammates, they were like, man, I didn't know one missed payment and my credit score drops that much. And I guess I was a little surprised that you still have a lot of guys that don't know that.
Right.
That need to know that, which is why I kind of wonder, do you see, and not just at Michigan, I know you talk to guys from other schools, do you see guys maybe getting some of this education and having people kind of help them out with their finances, or do you see that need still being out there where more people need to be having some folks help them with this kind of thing?
I think that need's definitely still out there. I think Michigan's doing a great job. We got a lot of people around here that are willing and want to help us, but I haven't really heard about a lot of it at other schools. So, yeah, it's probably definitely needed out there too.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, I know it is something that University of Michigan Credit Union takes very seriously. Been working with young people, not just student athletes. I mean, they had an initiative to help young folks get used to banking, just banking in general, from saving, starting checking accounts. I have programs that are geared towards teenagers. They've had that in place for years, and this is just an extension of that can help student athletes, and hopefully youngsters like Will can spread the word not only to your teammates but to young people in general with tools like what UMCU is calling their playbook for prosperity. So from there, Will, our friends at Morgan Stanley, as I've been saying, if UMCU lays the foundation, Morgan Stanley helps build on the foundation by helping you grow your money. Investments, stocks, bonds. Last time you were here, you were talking about how they were talking to you about starting your LLC.
Right.
And getting how you place money here, set aside money there. What are some of the things that you've been working on here of late, or talking about here of late, that you take away from your interaction with Morgan Stanley?
Yeah, like you said, I learned a lot about like stocks and bonds and mutual funds and money markets, and a lot of different accounts you can put your money in. So yeah, I've been trying to do that. I got a financial advisor that helps me out with a lot of that, to take some of that off my plate. But just putting my money in different spots. Like you said, I got my LLC, business account, a Roth IRA, SEP IRA, a lot of different accounts that try to just spread the money out in and save money for when I'm done with football, and put that money aside now that I'm making that hopefully I really won't need to use in the years coming. So yeah, just spreading it out and doing it smartly.
So, Will, I know you did an internship with Morgan Stanley, right? And you were a part of putting together some coursework, some language to help instruct student athletes. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so last summer I did an internship with Morgan Stanley, and Dave Himmich, he set that up for me. And that's where I learned about a lot of things about the stocks and the different accounts and all things money, really. And a part of my role was he has his own clients that he works with, and he presents these presentations to them. So with his presentations, he would show me and ask me, were these things that I was able to understand, or did they make sense, or did the the module move smoothly, like all those type of things that would really help the firm out, and Morgan Stanley be able to get more people on their side and really just grow their business too. So really, me being a part of their growth was cool to see.
Yeah, man, I know he's working with a lot of your teammates, but I know they're doing a lot with programs in the SEC. I know they work with the University of Florida specifically. I think they're doing with some things with some other big time. It's in Miami as well. So your influence goes far, not just here at the University of Michigan through your work with Morgan Stanley and Dave Himmich, but also down into the South as well. So definitely. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's what I've been telling your teammates. Make sure you spread the word. Make sure you're helping out your fellow student athletes, but take it a step farther and help out guys beyond the ones that you can see, feel, and touch right here in Ann Arbor. So that's great stuff there, Will. Thanks a lot for doing that, and hopefully more can do it as well. And that's what we're trying to do with the Financial Literacy Bootcamp. All right, so Johnsons, the ESPYs. You guys went out. Now, Will, I think I know this about you. We did that my Ann Arbor tour. I think I knew you had a little style about you before that, but I really learned. Like, man, that's like you're a fashion guy. Fair to say, right? You take that seriously?
I'd say so, yeah.
Are you one of the top guys on the team in that regard?
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
Really?
I'm up there. I think I'm in the top tier of
top tier of that?
Top tier of guys with the fashion on the team. We got some stylish guys on the team though, so it's good competition for sure.
So when it came to get style for the ESPYs, who was in charge of that? You style yourself, or did you have a stylist?
I actually had a stylist.
Okay.
So me and her, we both went to Somerset, and we got some people we know over there with Valiant and Nadine. They set it up for us, and my stylist, his name was Ten. He gave me some outfits to wear like outside of the ESPYs. My suit was with somebody else, but yeah, he gave me some other outfits, and they were pretty cool.
Kayli, wow. That was so you had a stylist that hooked all that up?
Yeah, Fabiola, that's her name. She pulled out amazing pieces. Like I was telling, I was trying on everything, and I was like, I've never found this many items of clothing that looked good on me, like consistently in a row. It was like hit after hit, and I was like, wow, it's a hard decision, but yeah. We were there, and the rooms were right next to each other, so I was able to see what he had, and then he's able to see my dresses, and it was kind of like it was really fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really
so
fun.
Let's compete. Who's the more stylish between big sister, little brother?
I mean, I think it's a tie. I think we both look good.
Look at that.
I'll go with tie. It's a tie.
It's a tie?
Yeah, definitely.
See, I don't hear Will talk about this. They asked me, they said, what would you say about Will? Often, because I mean, is he a really quiet guy? I said, yeah, he's quiet, but he's not bashful. Like, people think he's like this dude that doesn't boast. That's not true.
Yeah.
Not at all. Like, that dude will talk. For sure.
Oh, yeah. When we were younger,
for sure.
Too much.
For sure. Don't let that smoothness fool you.
Yeah.
He will tell you, I mean, this dude, Roma Dunze, is not going to get down on me. I remember him saying.
Keep up behind closed doors, though. Definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. So I find it, you must be stylish for him to say it's a tie. He's giving you some credit there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've always been I'm more like streetwear relaxed because I've always been around sports and been an athlete. So, but I try to switch it up a little bit, and I think I've always been into shoes and stuff like that. So as we got older, he was able to see that, and we both have a pretty expansive shoe collection. Okay. And I think that rolled into just kind of like pieces and our clothing and stuff like that. And he's gotten way more into, the things that I want to get, like he gets. So it's a little different for us. We're not on the same level, but, I kind of switch it up. I'm kind of into like fast fashion, but also like I'll go to the thrift store and find pieces and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think, just who we've been around, and our family members are pretty fashionable. Okay. So
yeah, I'll say she's been doing it for a long time. I'm just starting to get into the fashion. Okay. She's been doing it for a
I don't
while.
really like take pictures or like show it, but I kind of just, when I have time, I want to look nice.
Okay, so who comes up with the turnover buffs line ideas? Who's that? Who's the creative idea, the creative genius, if you will,
for the original design?
Creative vision behind turnover buffs.
So actually, the one that's on the current merch, that was our aunt. Okay. My mom's youngest sister. She came up with the logo. So she's great with graphic design, and she does a lot of flyers around Detroit, like probably a lot of party flyers and different things you see. She does a lot of those in the city. So she was collabing with my mom, and she came up with the design, and it was like perfect. Like the first time, okay. I think she had like a couple different versions, but that version that you see it was created in the family. So
are there going to be some new items that you're going to like? Because we could put them up on the screen right now. Are there going to be some things that are coming out this season, Will, that we need to be on the lookout for?
There's a lot of different things in the works right now. It's nothing finished product yet. We're trying to get it all figured out and get it all pushed out closer to the season. But yeah, there'll be some new stuff.
So what are some of the more recent things that have come out that are already out, though, that people may have seen, but maybe if folks who aren't paying attention don't know about yet?
I would say there's a bunch of different lenses now. There's an all maize lens, there's a blue and a yellow lens, there's an all blue lens. Still got the t-shirts, the hoodies. There's a lot of different stuff on my website too now, like signed autograph gear. There's some signed me and Woodson signed buffs on there, helmets.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff on there. You just gotta go check it out.
Okay, so what's your website?
Will2johnson.com.
Will2johnson.com. See, man, we gotta, we've been working on that, Will. The plug. You gotta get the Will2johnson.com. We gotta make sure that's across the screen. You guys can see it. Will2johnson.com. Be sure to go there and check out your turnover bus. So let's talk about vision for 2024 for both of you guys, and let's start with you, Will, and then we'll come to you, Kayli. Man, this you got to put one foot in front of the other, take it one game at a time. But it's hard not to see the mountaintop, man, because it looks like it's right there. Mm-hmm. Everything that you work for your whole life is right in front of you. So, kind of tell me what you see. Tell me what this year looks like for you, especially coming off of last year where you weren't able to train heading into the season.
Right.
This year you've been able to train a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's different this year. There's a lot of different parts. I mean, our team is a lot different. Like you said, I'm healthy now. I had a full off season to get prepared, so I'm super excited just for camp, just to play football, being healthy and just like eager to play football again. Before it was just like I was kind of just getting through it, getting by. So, yeah, I mean, I got high expectations for this year. Plans for the team to do it again. It takes a lot to get there, a lot of hard work. Like you said, keep one foot in front of the other, and we're just worried about camp right now. I don't want to talk about
I hear that.
too much of the other stuff. But
where are you better, other than healthy? I mean, I know you're healthier, but where are you better as a player? Where's your game better this year?
I think a part of the health is like when you're out there and you're not healthy, you don't play as confident, you don't play as comfortable, you kind of like second guess yourself. There's a lot of different things. So being out there, I felt like I couldn't really run last year. So there's a lot of situations where I was kind of just trying to get by, like I said. So
so last year was just getting by.
It sounds crazy, but yeah.
See, that's that sort of quiet confidence. I was just getting by.
I mean, I'm not even trying to sound like for real. It really was like that. It was a lot of games where it was like, I don't know if I'm gonna play. I got this injury going on, and I'm trying to make it through the week, like stuff like that. So, and I mean, I went into camp. I missed like the first 2 weeks. I came back. I re-injured my knee. Then I missed the first 3 games. Then I came back, and it was kind of like 70% my one leg. And then I think it was a few game stretch that I started to get a groove, just because like when you have an off season, I mean, that's where you build your foundation, where you build that callus, and I didn't really have that. So after a while, my body just started to break down again, and it didn't really rely on the foundation I had. So towards the end of the season, I started to have those same tweaks and injuries in my leg, and I mean, I still was able to get it done, but yeah, it wasn't the 100% version of me at all.
Yeah, I can tell stories now, because I mentioned that Roman Doomsday story. I remember talking to you at the national championship game, and people was like, man, he's about to face the best receiver in the country. I don't know if Will Johnson is ready for this challenge. And Will was like, he was like, man, I faced the best receiver in the country. No disrespect to Roman Doomsday, really, really good. I'm sure he'll make some plays, but I faced the best receiver in the country, and I think I did all right. I'm going to do my thing in this game. And he came out, and the dude was the MVP. So yeah. I gotta give you credit. You did call your shot.
Like you said, I said, but I don't say too much in the media and all that, but I'll let you know.
Yeah, you sure did. You sure did, man. So this is the other piece. So that's you stepping up and you improving your game, which I know you're going to do. But there's another piece of this when it comes to leading a team. We saw Mikey, and this is something I think he had innately. Are you ready to be that guy that other guys look to and lean on? Are you ready to be that guy not only that can tell guys, give them the encouragement, but also can hold them accountable? Be that dude too. Have you been able to step into that role on this team?
Yeah, I think I have. I think, like you asked before, what's my biggest goal or thing I want to improve on? I think that would be it. Being the best leader and the best person and being there for my teammates and being somebody that's accountable and is always around for them. So, I mean, I'm hoping to step into that role, and I think I have that role right now, so I'm trying to do the best I can at it.
Yeah, man, you got some young guys that are being thrown into the fire, and they didn't all come into the game like you.
Right.
Like you came into the game as a freshman, a vet, and that's not everybody, right? And we're gonna talk to Rod. Rod was like that, came into the game like a vet, which is why he played as a freshman. But like I was talking to Zeke the other day, Zeke was like, I wasn't like that.
Right.
That wasn't me.
Right.
Every young guy isn't ready for this fire, and they need old guys like you or older, not older guys like you to help get them ready. So that's gonna be a challenge for you to see if you can do that this year. So Kayli, 2024 and beyond, I kind of want to hear your vision, your recruiting vision, like things. There are things that are in place. Not talking about specific recruits because we can't, but like strategies, kind of events, initiatives, things that have already been put in place. Maybe wheels are turning, things that you would like to see done moving forward, maybe positions you would like to see added. I kind of want to see big picture what you want, things that you want to see put in place short term and long term as far as recruiting and things that you can help bring to the fore here at Michigan.
Yeah, I definitely think short term, finishing up the 2025 class and making that, we already have amazing guys who are committed to us. So making it to signing day, signing day sometimes can be a little crazy. So keeping the relationship and having everybody feel comfortable with us and that this is the right decision for them in the 2025 class, and in adding guys who are a fit for us and, signing a good class. I think that's the short term, and finishing out 2025 because they're the next up and they're really important, especially with the transition of the new staff members and including myself and them. A lot of these families trusting us and trusting these new people to the program. Long term, I think 2026 class is huge for us and how we go about that. But as a staff, I think we just have to keep building and keep doing what we do and showing how authentic Michigan is, and what they do on the field is going to really show how much work we're putting in off the field. But also with long term, I'm just kind of getting into my first 6 months. So I think Coach Moore's vision of expanding the recruiting department, we added 10 analysts and 2 people in an assistant director role under me. So having more support, more help, people to be there in the times we have a lot of people on campus, like a big event, like the barbecue and stuff this past weekend. Just have people around and who can talk to our, prospects and their families and be able to talk about Michigan and our program and sit down with people, because a lot of it is just building relationships with people and being able to see how they can see where we're at and where they're at. That's kind of what the recruiting process is, like feeling it out, feeling people out, because they don't know you. So you're trying to make people get to know you in a really short amount of time. So you just have to be like as authentic as you can be within like 24 hours sometimes and get to know them but like reveal things about them so you can decide whether they're a good fit or not.
Yeah, because look, I know coaches, part of their job is connecting with the families, but so much of what they do is handling the football piece. And it just feels like a big part of the role that you play is connecting the other pieces for the family, the family aspects of it, to make sure that all their needs are met, that they're feeling comfortable with the situation too.
Yeah. I mean, especially for June OVs, I'm really the point person for figuring out, their flights, how they're going to travel, and people like to plan ahead. So, all the questions are coming to me, and if there's something that comes up with their travel or, all the questions and comments and concerns, those all come to me. So, yeah, I think with my role is definitely about the planning and organization, but it's about turning that off sometimes, which I have to be better about, and just being like there for them and just having almost kind of like a motherly like presence. Like you just kind of take that on, and it's just being another person that's not trying to sell you on the football side.
Someone they feel comfortable leaving their kids with.
Yeah, and that too. So a large part about, what I say to people is that this is kind of a family. Not kind of, it is a family organization. Like, look at me and my brother and just things that we've been able to do and be a part of, and, my parents meeting here and different stuff like that. So I think that's kind of my role all in one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you just the vibe in the building. I mean, the opportunity that not only Sherrone has given you. I mean, he's, you look at the staff, the opportunity that he is giving a lot of these staffers to come in. You go down to Ohio State and you grab, what's her name, Erin?
Erin, yeah.
Yeah, you go down to Ohio State and you grab Erin and bring her up. And that was a mentor of yours a bit, right?
Yeah, I had started building a relationship with her. I mean, we kind of have, in the recruiting world, or you kind of have these people that and she was definitely one of, just because the name behind the school. So when you look at who's in the roles to help them get to where they are, you kind of find out who are in those roles. So yeah, I mean, I built a relationship with her about this time last year, and we kept each other updated. She put my resume out there a few times, and so yeah, she's definitely been helpful for me.
Yeah, so I just wonder, does it feel as special as it seems? It's special because you're going to work on the team that your brother plays on. Is you're one of Sherrone Moore. You're working with one of the people who helped put you on, right? You're working at the place where your parents met. There's so many special pieces of what's going on for you right now. Yeah. And I wonder if that kind of ever hits you.
It does. I mean, sometimes when I'm sitting home at night, I'm kind of always trying to figure out how to be better. So, it's a lot of pressure sometimes, too. Don't get me wrong. I always want to be the best. So, kind of have to take the good with the bad with that. But, I mean, I think that, because it is year one, we have to keep the standard, but we can put our own spin on it. Yeah. So I think that's what's exciting about it, because I've been able to kind of take some ideas that I've had and just do it and run with it. So
yeah, you really don't have a whole lot of time to be sitting there being like, oh, this is great.
Right, yeah. Right. So far, yeah.
I got you. All right, so let's close things out. Listen, we got to shout out Deon and Coffee. You got to give y'all a minute, because it's not like y'all would be here without them, literally, right? So we got to take a minute, because that's a special part of the story, too. We're going to put up a picture on the screen right now. What is it, the Indiana game where you guys were on the sideline? Was that the Indiana game where your dad brought you to the game and you were on the sideline? You must have been 8 or 9 years old.
I was too young to remember.
Oh, yeah, that picture. Ooh, I don't even remember.
Yeah, we'll put it up, but I'm like, man, to see that picture next to the picture of you guys at the ESPYs, or next to the picture of you guys at like the spring game or something, is amazing. And it's this is an amazing story of a Michigan family, mom and dad at Michigan, our brother and sister at Michigan. You got to shout them out a little bit. So how about Coffee and Deon?
All credit to them.
Yeah.
They really have made us who we are. We have characteristics in our personality of the both of them. And we tell people we really kind of even look like our dad, but we have characters like our mom and characters like our dad. So I mean, they just really made us who we are, and established kind of a standard for us, and always had us doing things, and kind of pushing us to be better. My mom's super big on academics and the classroom side, and my dad has always kind of been sports is really just in us, but I think he's kind of had a silent expectation of sports. He's always pushing us to be better, and it's kind of a no tolerance for the laziness. So he's always pushing us on that side. So we have a really good balance between the two of them.
Yeah, man, I don't know if I've seen the hustle in Coffee is strong, bro.
For sure.
Your brand is gonna be successful.
Right.
It has no choice.
Right. That's facts. No, she's a hard worker. She's a very determined woman. she does a lot of the stuff behind the scenes that people don't see to get both of us where we are now. So, like she said, all credit to them. I mean, they're great parents. They always are there for us. I mean, you'll see them in Ann Arbor 3-4 times a week. They're up here so much. They just want us to be the best, and they care about us so much that it's helped us out a lot.
Well, clearly we can see they did a good job.
They always tell us how much they're proud of us too, which is really encouraging. So I want to give them their credit on that too. They help us be better and they critique us, but they also tell us how much they're proud of us. So
Yeah, with good reason.
Yeah.
For sure. You guys are doing great things and going to do even better things moving forward. So we appreciate you stopping by the platform. I know both of you are super busy and you made the time to make it over here. We'll let you get back to doing what you got to do now. So
thanks for having us.
Go do more great things, and thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah, no
Thank
problem.
you.
Go Blue.
Thanks for having us. Go Blue.
Kayli Johnson, William Johnson. Thanks a lot.
That's really only a
Folks, we appreciate you watching another edition of Behind the Uniform. You can always find these episodes on our YouTube page. Want to thank our great sponsors. Of course, our presenting sponsor at Behind the Uniform will get you to your destination on time, every time. If you have ground transportation needs, get to your destination on time, every time with Golden Limo. Ride like the Wolverines. Feel like a Wolverine when you ride with Golden Limo, the proud transportation partner for many of Michigan's sports teams and the primary transportation provider for Michigan Wolverines football. All you have to do to book your Golden Ticket reservation is go to goldenlimo.com/golden ticket or call their team at 734-668-8282 and mention Golden Ticket to book your transportation reservations today. And again, when it comes to your financial literacy of these student athletes, of young people in general, our friends at University of Michigan Credit Union, instrumental in helping us spread that word and that gospel. Same thing with our friends at Morgan Stanley. Continue to support us here on Behind the Uniform. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Behind the Uniform.